Hello all. Now I promised you the fanfic reading part two of the story that I'm currently writing, but actually I want to step into a new series of a fanfiction that I've found. I forgot all about it, and I'm actually gonna sort of put the last one on hold and skip to this one. Um, Before I start, this is basically a diary called his name was Splice and Dice. He was basically a man that was growing a terrible sickness throughout the days during the Black Plague in Central Europe, but I sort of made it ponify. So I mean, I love it. Um, Friends I've shown loved it, so I'm really hoping that you guys will love it. So press a like. If you won't, if you will press a dislike, fine. I'll work harder then. But yeah, I just gotta basically pop it up and I'll start reading it. So give me a few moments. Thank you. Get my mojo. Journal entry 1, 1539. Catalan. Splice and dice log. I've currently gone back home. I was on a nightly stroll, but it seems like the night is going on for hours on ends. It wasn't even daybreak yet. The moon wasn't even showing within the sky, so I knew something was wrong. I quickly got to my home. I locked the doors, and I just fast as possible went into my room. I sat down on my bed looking at the floor. Not sure for how long exactly. And finally, I grew enough conscious to stand up. Next thing I knew, I felt this pain in my back. Very sharp pain. And before I knew it, I coughed out a bit of blood. It was purple blood. Makes no sense. I didn't really have mind to think about it, what could possibly be wrong with me, but I just washed up instead. I wanted to go to sleep, but something was urging me to stay up, because my head had a bad ringing sound. I could hear it, but nothing was around for it to cause a source. So I just laid down, staring at my ceiling, like everything was slowing down. As that bag screwed in my eyes, but I still had the feeling to not to go to sleep. But why? Why? Not sure what to happen exactly. Morning, I went to work, my humble carpenter shop, and then I walked down the garden, saw that cute girl across the road. She's a beautiful mare, I say. But then she vanished when I got home. Finally, I fell asleep. I felt like I was still awake. I was screaming, as if a flaming roar went throughout the skies. Next morning I woke up. I had a tingly feeling within my skin. I went to go wash up, and there I noticed it. My my fur seemed to be growing more solid, more thicker. A brush couldn't even go right through it. A comb couldn't even pierce my mane. I was in inner shock. I was still moving, but felt like my mind was just frozen, rock solid. I just thought to myself, maybe it's just the morning. Maybe I just got a bad cold, and several colds can happen. So I splashed some water on my face, made my skin feeling more tingly. I went within my kitchen and grounded up some coffee beans to make myself a cup of coffee. Put it on the pot for a little bit so to settle it and make it nice and hot. I thought for the meantime I would see if the paper boy out front left anything for me. I was going towards my entrance until I finally heard a knock. I looked at my clock and I said, this can't be right. 6:30. Who could possibly have my door? So I looked through the eyepiece, and there was a man, very tall man, structured, true stallion. I opened it. Finally, I realized the uniform he was wearing was police. I said to him, "Hello there, officer. How may I help you today?" The man just looked at me and said, "I have some bad news." I looked at him like, "Bad news? How do you know I live here? How did you—" He interrupted me shortly after. He said, "Sir, you have to remain at home until the plague moves by." No wonder why I didn't feel like I was going to fall asleep. Something was wrong. A plague? A plague in this poor little town? Dear God, I must... Fuck. I looked at him and said, "Plague? Am I sick?" It's like, "We do not know, but this is a biohazard zone. We are blocking off each side of the streets so no one can enter. We'll get back to you shortly." He left. Never came back that day. I was stuck in my home ever since. Weeks, months, I didn't know. I lost time after the first day. Was this the beginning of my death? Or was it just the beginning of the long life of hell that was waiting for me? I don't know. I have much to think about. After the days have passed, my skin and fur has completely became this solid concrete-like substance. Purple veins were popping along my skin. My eyes, the pupils within my eyes were pitch dark black like a pit that never ends. I felt like a creature. I just looked at myself in the mirror and I say, "What the hell are you?" And of course, that was me talking to myself. So I would have to reply back saying, "I don't know." I couldn't barely move time to time. It wasn't that the fact I was sick, it was the fact that I felt like something out of me was taking over. My mind was stable, my heart was stable, but it felt like the other part of me wasn't. I didn't want to say I was going insane, but it just felt like something was taking over and I didn't want it to do anything else to me. I always looked out my window across the street where that beautiful Mary stood. And moss and grime was growing over her house. Did she move? Did she get sick too and end up dying? Or did the police just kill her before it was too late? Quickly heard a knock on my door. The knock I haven't heard a knock for months. Not a sign of life. I quickly opened it. There was the girl. She was bleeding from her mouth, eyes, and nose. She tried to
yell out for help, but she had to keep taking her course, swallowing her own blood. She fell to the ground floor of my home. Her skin was like mine, but in a much rougher condition. I picked her up and set her on one of my pieces of furniture. I stopped the bleeding within the nose and eyes, but the mouth I couldn't handle. All I knew was that I had to get the bad blood out, so I tilted her head to the side to watch all this dark substance pour out of her mouth. It finally came to an end. She was still breathing. Unbelievable. She was very dozed. She couldn't think straight, probably from all the much blood loss. She told me thank you in a brief, short sigh. Of course, I didn't say you're welcome. I just nodded. I pulled up a chair and sat there, looking at her, helping her try to regain strength. Before you know it, I started talking. Her name was Lily. Lily Sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful name for such a beautiful, beautiful man. Of course, she asked me mine. I said Splice. She looked at me for a brief moment. She said something for the likes of you. It's one of the sweetest sounds I've ever met. I just nodded again. A blush grew on my face. I went off into the bathroom, and I looked at myself. I was going bald. My fur and skin were finally decomposing. They felt softer, but the veins didn't go away. And my eyes were mostly pure black. Feels like my mouth is stretching out, like edges, like from a jack-o'-lantern. I walked back into the room, and I noticed that she wasn't there. I began to panic. And finally, I found her. She was in the kitchen, grinding her coffee beans. She acted like nothing happened. But I only noticed the same thing on my body as well. She began to form like me. Her fur remained the same color, but just the same shape. Just like mine. I'm not sure if I was aroused by this, or happy. That was sad or disappointed, but it felt okay for a moment. We sat down to talk, more and more and more. I coughed up blood most of the time. She wiped it off my mouth. We came closer and closer, our legs touching one another from within the table. I felt loved. Finally, we both grew enough strength. We made love. It was just the most greatest thing that has happened in my life. I die happy. Next morning, I woke up. She was within the same bed as mine, and I walked downstairs. I knew the black flag was still out there, but at least I had a piece of me that was still left. My emotions were so mixed, I was not sure what to think. I guess this is a new journey for me beyond the life of Splice'N'Dice.
And that was the end of chapter 1. Um I mean, this is a very fine work, probably the best fanfic I ever wrote, actually. Um, so I really hope you guys will enjoy part two. This was part one, and I mean, it got happy at the end of part one, but trust me, it's gonna get very twisted by the next time I read it. But yeah, thank you so much, you guys listening to this, and just leave a comment below if you want to read more. Because I just want to know. I just want to get a feedback, basically. So thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great night. Jacob Phillips, aka Stein, signing off. And remember, guys, always in your nightmares, I'm gonna rape you. I'm kidding, guys. All right, have a good one.